Bonsoir, mesdames et messieurs. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We will start our meeting.
Alors, bienvenue à cette séance ordinaire du conseil municipal de la ville de Kirkland en ce lundi 1er août 2022 à 20h. Il est d'abord proposé d'adopter l'ordre du jour de la présente séance tel que déposé.
Un proposeur, s'il vous plaît. Et secondé par.
Jeffrey, Monsieur Dufort, de Mexico.
Merci.
Item 3.1, it is proposed that the minutes of the regular meeting held on July 4th, 2022 at 8 p.m. be approved.
Un proposeur.
I'll propose that, Mike Brown.
And second.
I second that, John Morrison.
Thank you.
Au point K, compte payable, il est proposé de confirmer et d'approuver le paiement d'un montant total de 3 520 011,78 pour l'ensemble des chèques émis et annulés, les dépôts directs et les paiements préautorisés pour la période du 1er au 31 juillet 2022.
Un proposeur.
I'll propose that, Nancy Lopinus.
Et secondé par.
I'll second that, Karen Cliff.
Nous sommes maintenant sous le point 5, réglementation. Le premier, il est proposé de donner avis de motion à l'effet que le projet de règlement numéro 2012-55-2, intitulé Règlement modifiant le règlement numéro 2012-55 sur l'utilisation de l'eau potable, stratégie québécoise d'économie d'eau potable afin de préciser certaines interdictions et pénalités, sera présenté pour adoption à une séance subséquente du Conseil. Il est de plus proposé qu'un projet de ce règlement, lequel est mis à la disposition du public sur le site web de la Ville, soit déposé par un membre du Conseil. L'objet de ce règlement est de préciser certaines interdictions et pénalités, et l'adoption de ce règlement est prévue à la séance régulière du 6 septembre 2022.
J'ai besoin d'un proposeur et aussi de tabler le projet.
I will give the notice of motion, and I will table this bylaw all four.
Merci.
Item 5.2, it is proposed that a council member give notice of motion that draft bylaw number Gen 2022-53 entitled Bylaw Concerning Water Meters and the Water Rate be presented for adoption at a subsequent sitting of the Municipal Council. It is also proposed that a draft of this bylaw, which is made available to the public on the town's website, be tabled by this council member. The object of this bylaw is to replace bylaw 27-52, providing for the supply of water and the imposition of the water tariff. It clarifies both the provisions with respect to water meters and the calculation of the water tariff. This bylaw is scheduled to be adopted at the September 6, 2022 regular sitting of council.
Notice of motion and tabling by.
I will give the notice of motion, Dominic Zito, and also table the draft bylaw, Dominic Zito.
Thank you.
Nous sommes maintenant au point 5.3. Il s'agit du règlement de zonage numéro 9058-103, intitulé Règlement modifiant le règlement de zonage numéro 9058, afin de ne plus permettre les usages commerciaux des classes B2, D3, E1 et les usages publics des classes A et B dans la zone 233C, d'ajouter les classes F12 et F13 commerciales et de modifier certaines dispositions particulières applicables à la zone 233C, considérant que conformément à l'article 356 de la loi sur les cités et villes, à l'émotion de ce règlement a été donné et que le projet de règlement a été déposé à la séance ordinaire du conseil municipal tenue le 2 mai. Considérant que conformément aux dispositions de la loi sur l'aménagement et l'urbanisme, le projet de règlement de zonage 9058-103 contenant des dispositions propres à un règlement susceptible d'approbation référendaire a été adopté à la séance ordinaire du 2 mai, qu'une consultation publique portant sur le projet de règlement a été tenue le 31 mai et que le second projet de règlement a été adopté avec changement à la séance ordinaire du mois de juin. Considérant que le 23 juin, au terme de la période fixé pour la réception de demandes de participation à un référendum à l'égard des dispositions susceptibles d'approbation référendaire contenues au second projet de règlement. Aucune demande valide n'a été reçue de la part des personnes intéressées. Considérant que ce règlement a été mis à la disposition du public sur le site Internet de la Ville, il est proposé d'adopter ce règlement de zonage qui entrera en vigueur à la suite de l'obtention du certificat de conformité requis suivant la publication d'un avis public à cet effet.
This is the old Borough Municipal building that's been converted into a Tesla dealership. Okay, I need somebody to approve it.
I will approve it, General Checker.
And second by,
I'll second it, Steve Bouchard.
thank you.
We are now under item 6, contracts. The item 6.1 is the renewal of contract PP 2022-11, snow removal work for the 2021-2022, 2022-2023, and 2023-2024 winter seasons with 2 renewal options. This contract was initially awarded to Rockborough Excavation Inc. on February 1st, 2021 for the first base year, which was 2021-2022. Now it is proposed to renew this contract for the second base year of 2022-2023 for a total amount of $1,054,828.94, including all applicable taxes and the verification of quantities.
I need a mover or a proposer.
I propose that, John Morrison.
And second?
I'll second that, Nancy Koukinassidis.
Nous allons maintenant sous le point 7, administration et finances. Le premier point est le 7.1. Il est proposé de désigner le conseiller Paul Dufort, maire suppléant pour les mois de septembre, octobre et novembre 2022.
Un proposeur?
I propose that, Karen Cliff.
Et puis, là,
And I'll second that, Mike Brown.
merci.
Le point 7.2, il est proposé d'autoriser les ajouts suivants à la liste de contributions aux organismes communautaires locaux approuvés par le conseil municipal pour l'année 2022. L'organisme est Lakeshore General Hospital Foundation pour un montant de $600.
Proposeur?
Je vais le proposer, Steve Bouchard.
Et appuyé par?
Je l'appuie, Dominique Thibault.
Merci.
We are now under item 8, human resources. The first point, it is proposed to abolish the management position of division head communications within the Communications and Public Relations Department, to create the management position of section head communications within that same department, and to appoint Ms. Chantal Bourdon to the position of section head communications within the Communications and Public Relations Department of the Town of Kirkland as of May 30th, 2022, the whole in accordance with the employment policy for management employees of the Town of Kirkland.
Proposed by? I need a proposer,
Propose
please.
that all before.
And second by?
I'll second it, General Checker.
Thank you.
Le prochain point, il s'agit du point 8.2. Il est proposé de nommer M. Kojo Mawuko Atoko au poste d'agent de distribution équipement et matériel au sein des services administratifs de la ville de Kirkland en date du 25 juillet 2022, le tout conformément à la convention collective présentement en vigueur pour les employés col blanc de la ville de Kirkland.
Ceci en passant, c'est un remplacement, c'est un replacement. Need a proposer?
Chairman, I propose John Morrison.
And second?
I'll second that, Mike Brown.
Next item is 8.3. It is proposed to confirm the permanent employee status of Mr. Johnny Giancastro to the white-collar position of IT support agent within the administrative services as of January 24, 2022, the whole in accordance with the collective agreement currently in effect for white-collar employees of the town of Kirkland.
Proposed by?
I'll propose that, Nancy Koukinassidis.
And second?
I'll second that, Karen Cliff.
Nous sommes maintenant au point 9, le comité consultatif d'urbanisme, le point 9.1. Il est proposé de prendre acte de la demande d'approbation des plans d'implantation et d'intégration architecturale PIIA et des documents d'accompagnement relativement au projet d'agrandissement sur les lots 2460016 et 2460027 situés dans la zone 312M au 7700 route transcanadienne et du procès verbal du CCU daté du 19 juillet 2022. Il s'agit de l'endroit où est situé le Sanofi, d'approuver les plans d'implantation et d'intégration architecturale énumérés au point 3.1.1 du procès verbal de la réunion du CCU tenue le 19 juillet 2022. Les 10 plans étant conformes au règlement PIA 2022-55 et ayant fait l'objet d'une recommandation favorable du CCU avec la condition mentionnée au point 3.1.2 du procès verbal du 19 juillet 2022.
Proposant
Je vais le proposer, Steve Bouchard.
et secondé.
Je vais le seconder, Lucien Jacques.
We are now under item 10, public security and traffic. Item 10.1, it is proposed to authorize the installation of a speed bump at the mandatory stop sign located on Edmund Street at the intersection north of Aesop Street at the location specified on the plan.
Proposant, s'il vous plaît.
I propose that, John Morrison.
Et secondé par.
I'll second that, Paul Before.
Merci.
Le point 10.2, il est proposé d'autoriser la mise en place d'un dos d'âne allongé compatible aux véhicules d'urgence sur une fonction de la rue Argyle à l'endroit spécifié sur le plan.
Proposant
Proposé, Paul Before.
et secondé par.
Je secondé, John Morrison.
Merci.
Item 10.3, it is proposed to authorize the installation of a speed hump compatible with emergency vehicles on Cherry Lane Street at the location specified on the plan.
I need somebody to propose it.
I propose that, John Morrison.
And second.
The secondé, Paul Before.
Il n'y a aucun sujet apporté au point 11, 12 et 13, ce qui nous amène à une résolution d'appui au point 14.1. Considering that the polycystic kidney disease, also known as PKD Foundation of Canada, encourages mayors to join the fight against this illness by giving more visibility to this potentially fatal genetic disease and the impact it has on the lives of 66,000 Canadians at the national scale. Considering that the mission of the PKD Foundation of Canada is to promote research, advocacy, education, support, and awareness in order to discover treatments and a cure and improve the lives of all that it affects. Considering that Health Canada recognizes September 4th as the National PKD Awareness Day, it is proposed to declare September 4, 2022 as the PKD, the Polycystic Kidney Disease Awareness Day in the town of Kirkland, and to encourage the residents of Kirkland to generously support this cause in order to improve the quality of life of those affected by this disease.
I need a proposer.
I'll propose that, Nancy Cooper,
And
Citizen.
second.
I second that, John Morrison.
Thank you, John.
Le conseil municipal prend acte du dépôt de la correspondance du mois de juillet 2022 par la greffière. There is nothing to bring forward under item 16. Ce qui nous amène à la période de questions du public. La période de questions est maintenant ouverte. Tout membre du public qui désire s'adresser au conseil municipal est prié de faire la file derrière le micro et de respecter la distanciation physique. Lorsque le droit de parole vous est accordé, veuillez ne pas toucher le micro, énoncer vos noms et adresses et formuler votre question de manière claire et concise en s'adressant au maire dans un langage respectueux. Chaque intervention est limitée à 2 questions. Il vous sera possible de poser des questions supplémentaires lorsque tous les membres du public qui désirent s'adresser au conseil municipal auront eu l'occasion de le faire. Public question period is now open. Members of the audience who wish to address the municipal council are requested to line up behind the microphone and to respect physical distancing. When given the floor, please refrain from touching the microphone. State your name and address and direct your question to the mayor in a clear and concise manner using respectful language. Each intervention is limited to 2 questions. You will be able to ask additional questions once all members of the audience who wish to address the municipal council have had a chance to do so.
Good evening, Ken Lyons, 18 Toronto. I have a question concerning item 5.2, which is about the water meters. In that bylaw, 2022-53, Article 9, it says that the city does not offer any warranty for quality, quantity, nor pressure, and non-responsibility for any damage that may occur due to those 3 items. That means it's a complete download on citizens. There's been situations in the past, not necessarily in this municipality, where there's been overpressure in the water system and resulted in significant damages in certain homes. So why are you dumping it on us?
It's not dumping on it, and I'll just reiterate part of what you said. Le compteur d'eau, that's part of that bylaw. Le compteur d'eau is basically supplied by the city at its cost. And the compteur d'eau, the water meter, must be installed.
I'm not worried about the water meter.
No,
I'm talking just about the last part.
Yes, and the water meter has to be installed by the owner at its cost. And if there's a defect in the water meter itself, we'll replace it. You know, there's a warranty on it.
But that's not what I questioned. You didn't listen to my question.
We're not downloading absolutely nothing. First of all, the water meter is just when they build a house, a new house.
Shell, I'm not talking about the water meter. That article, there's a second little paragraph there that says that about pressure, quality, and quantity.
But you're
That
reporting
the city is not responsible. That's the part I'm raising, not the water meter.
Il y a rien qui était là auparavant. C'était déjà dans la réglementation, ça. It was already in it. We're not inventing nothing. We're just adjusting certain phrases, like I just mentioned, the responsibility of the installation.
I have no issue with that.
Okay, but what you're mentioning has always been there. We didn't reinvent that.
Anyway, I still don't like it. That's all right.
Okay.
Now, the other item I want to bring up is quality assurance for the work that's being done for the city under various contracts.
Which one in particular, Ken?
Painting.
Which
Painting of
area?
identifying, catch basins, the sewers.
Okay, yeah, the little marks there.
I brought that up last time. Because of the snow or the ice couldn't be removed from certain of them, and because they had never been painted. Well, I wanted to make sure it got done. So I've issued a, I can't remember the means that you go online.
Online request.
Request, thank you. I issued a request specifying which ones were not painted.
Okay. How many did you find?
Oh, there was quite a few, like all the way from Calais to the Point Claire limits. Well, they did some, but they forgot those right at Surrey, so they're not done, and right at the limits of Point Claire, right over the speed hump.
Right over those circles of Europe.
Yeah, they're not done.
Okay.
And the other thing on Bruce, between Evans and Andre Brunet,
Yeah.
they didn't touch them. They left the old paint job.
Okay.
In other words, what I'm trying to say is that's what I see in my own little neighborhood. how many others have they forgotten in the city?
We'll check those ones in particular.
The bone I have to pick is that when I issued that complaint, they closed it, since it's been given to the people responsible.
Yeah.
To me, that shouldn't be closed till the job is actually done. To me, it's not closed, it's not done yet, you know.
When did you file your request, sir?
Oh, it's not that long ago,
Just
about 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, okay. Okay,
I could send you the actual number of the request.
No, we'll find out tomorrow morning.
Thank you.
Send me your address, Ken?
18,
You send me your address, right,
The complaint, the request.
oh, sorry, I can't give you the actual numbers, like,
No, it's under your address. the
oh, yes,
request.
yes,
Okay.
but it's not, let's say, in front of the house, I say
No
that.
problem.
No, fair enough, $18.
Okay, thank you, Ken.
should come to my area too.
Good evening, everybody. Ladies and
Good
gentlemen.
evening.
My name is Ivo Spartani, and I live on 72 Park Ridge. We've been there almost 40 years, 35, 40 years. Never really had any big complaint.
Okay.
But this year, well, actually, the past couple of years, the snow removal hasn't been up to par. But this year, they topped it all up. I have some pictures that my wife took while I was removing the snow at the end of the driveway, on my driveway in the street. It was about 4 feet wide by 4 feet high, the length of my driveway.
And then next door there was none.
Nothing. They left everything right in front of our driveway, okay? And we're both over 75, I'm 76 and everything. If any one of us would have had a problem with the heart or whatever, it would have been goodbye. So that's snow, I don't know who's the contractor of the snow. Well, I guess you're in charge
It's
of.
the city.
Yes.
And
you're
the
in charge.
city contractor,
Yeah, okay, but the city contractor didn't do that, because we had an early appointment that morning, and we made sure on the 25th that the driveway was gonna be clean. They cleaned it up at 5, and we go out the house at 6, or 5 to 6, and I almost got a heart attack when I saw that. At about 6:10, 6:15, an employee from the city came up the road,
Yeah.
and it's a little slope upwards, and he stopped right in front of me, and I said, you know, what's going on here? You know, because this is incredible. You know, when he saw that, he stopped, but I said, well, I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do. Nobody is open, there's nobody there.
I'm sorry that it happened, you know, that your driveway was, it's the general maintenance, the contractor that has to do his job. It's unfortunate that your entrance was blocked. And you've got a snow removal company, or
That's
something?
right.
Yes,
Okay.
but
Just
they
before.
cleared it. It was cleaned at 5 o'clock.
Okay. But because of the
I
quantity
have
of
some
snow.
picture to prove it,
No.
to show you, sorry, I touched the mic there, to show you that, you know,
No,
what happened.
just take a picture, would like to see your picture, it's for us?
Well, no, I could send you some, but,
Okay, I'd like to see them.
okay, just,
No, but not,
not now?
no, just send it to me by email at either my director general or at I'll give you my card
Okay,
later on,
Thank you.
okay?
very good.
So
But,
we'll,
I just hope that that won't happen again, because, like I said, we still want to live a little bit longer.
and I understand that.
Yeah, well, if you have no idea, sir, Mr. Mayor, that the snow was compacted,
Like you were.
you know, it was icy and,
It's clean.
thank you.
And send me the pictures, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Next question.
Good evening, everyone. like the previous months.
Your name and your address.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Luc Dijon, 16876 Hymas.
Thank you.
And like the previous months, I'd like to submit for the town clerk a new USB with even better documents and videos concerning the environment. Is it possible to submit it, to give it to somebody?
Yeah, here.
Right here.
I won't talk this time because I got shit done. There we go. There we go. Make sure it's for the environment and the budget of the utility council for the
Now, you did send it to every councillor, by the way,
Oh,
except for the USB. That email, everybody received it.
I haven't requested it, it's been amended.
Yes, I saw your email concerning your amendment also.
Well,
Concerning the anti-Ganesh.
Anti-Ganesh, Nova Scotia.
Okay, go ahead. Alex,
Amended, it's the second amendment, actually. Okay, here I go. I hope Mike doesn't get angry because he doesn't like my long
Wait, it's not too long. Go ahead.
It's not very long. We have been played for suckers for decades by greedy people who have no humanity. Their only interest is power and money. I'm disappointed with this town council that doesn't seem to care that those people will have completely destroyed our life support system by 2050. It's on the USB. That we can still make 1.5 degrees C is deceptively false. It's BS. Limiting to 1.5 degrees C is now impossible, and only immediate global emissions decline can possibly prevent a warming of 2 degrees C by 2050. That's catastrophic. You will probably all die of old age like me, leaving our children to bear the brunt of climate change. However, it doesn't have to be that way. You can do like the municipality we just mentioned, the town of Antigonish, Nova Scotia, and it wants to be the first community in Canada to reach net zero emissions. That's my preamble. Here's my question. It's short and sweet. What's stopping you, the Council of Kirkland, from establishing the means to become one of the first municipalities in Quebec to reach net zero emissions? What's stopping you? That's my question.
Okay, first of all, I read the article that you sent us on anti-Ganesh, green, include net zero carbon emission. I don't know if you knew it, but the anti-Ganesh electric utility, they got their own electric utility company. You got, that's very, very rare. And then you knew also they get their power from, they got their own wind farm. You knew that also?
Well, I also know that Agro-Quebec supplies electricity that's carbon-free.
But this city is quite particular. If they're the first one to do, that's great. But there's a little mention from Lori Boucher, that she's the mayor. She says, I cannot pinpoint an exact time frame for reaching the 100% renewable energy goal. But she says, I do believe that it will happen. So it's a positive effect, but it will be long after I'm here. So she's optimistic, and we're optimistic also ourselves, and you knew, and I explained clearly that we're working on our own sustainable plan. And when it's ready, we'll show you and we'll tell you exactly what we'll be doing. But for now, we're acting as a good environment municipality, and we've got the step that I mentioned many times to you. So yes, our goal would be to be the first one in Quebec. That would be the ideal situation.
Bravo.
That's the only thing I can say,
Bravo.
Mr. Pichot.
So have you worked on getting the means to
And that's what we told you.
achieve net zero emissions as soon as
Exactly.
possible?
We're working on our plan, our future sustainable development plan. And as soon as we get objective, we figure out our objective, you'll know, like the rest of our population will know.
Can you be more specific, Mr. Mayor? Reaching net zero emissions if
We
possible?
don't have goals yet, and we have to establish goals based on what the AGLO, the government of Quebec, will set forth. So will be all funneled to our municipality. But when the time will come, You'll be the first one.
We don't have time anymore. You have to do it now. That's what the
And I
item
do
is
it
tomorrow.
but we'll be doing it.
Well, next month, I hope it's done by the next meeting, because I'll come back.
Unfortunately, you're dreaming in color.
Well, no, I'm dreaming to have civilization survive, sir. Thank you.
Merci, Monsieur Pigeon. Yeah.
Or carbon neutral.
Yeah, carbon neutral.
And zero emission.
Yeah.
If you're talking about zero emissions, so carbon neutral.
Yeah, it's carbon, yeah, exactly. Okay, next question?
Well, call to 168 Niagara. Talked, not last meeting, the meeting before, about the speeding on Niagara. Is anything being done about it?
Paul, Nancy, was something, first of all, sent to our committee?
I don't go on that.
Yeah, okay. Paul will report.
Mr. We had a request for speeding, Mike, please. Microphone? Sorry. Yes, Bob?
Yes,
We have a request for a speed on, Rainbow Speed in your area, on Niagara, and the stop sign at the Bedroom Brown. And, the request for the stop sign, of course, has been sent to the SPVM, the Montreal Police, they do the inspection for it. With regards to speeding, we informed the resident what we're going to do, because the complaints are that speeding happens when everybody's going to school on the street. No school now, so we're waiting for the first or second week of September, first or second week of September, when school is back, to do our speed study. So we're handling it.
sir, I'm just letting you know that 10 o'clock at night, you see them zoom.
But most of the reports we have, always on that street, has to do with cars, people taking their children to school.
Well,
It's not at 10 o'clock at night, I'm sure it happens on a lot of streets, especially on your street also at 10 o'clock at night, but our concern is to do the traffic study. We'll do the night, we'll do the day, we'll do 3.5 days, but we'll do the daytime also.
but are you waiting, you're only gonna wait until school starts at the end of August?
Exactly.
You're not checking the stop signs or anything like that now?
No, the police are doing the stop sign. That's got nothing to do with it. There's two separate things. One's for the stop sign, one's for speeding on Niagara. I would mention the stop sign is being handled by Montreal Police. They do the inspection. They're back to us. But for the speeding, we informed the lady and she agreed, was the complaint. That it's okay with her for us to wait until the first or second week of September, and school is back and traffic's there. That'll give you a real picture of what the speeding is on that street. Okay?
The question that Mr. Lyons talked about and you brought up about the meters. Now, you're saying to us that if a meter is damaged in the house, it doesn't work anymore, that we're responsible for it? What's the reason for that? These people have installed it.
No, the meter is yours, by the way. When you bought your house originally, the meter that was inside, you bought the house with the meter. So it's yours, it's your property. So,
It belongs to the city then.
no, it's your meter, it's your property. It's not ours. Yeah, go ahead, if you want to clarify, Jeff, please.
When they constructed your house, the contractor and or the homeowner contracted the house, when it purchased the meter, what the city does is it guarantees it for life. So if your meter becomes faulty, making noise, leaking, we will then give you another meter to replace it.
And you'll
But-
install it.
Exactly, but you need to get it installed. In the past, what was happening was 25.
What can't the city install it, may I ask?
Pardon?
Why shouldn't the city install it?
Because it's not our meter.
It's your meter.
The meter's in private property. So I cannot come into your house and install a meter that's in your property that belongs to you. What I do though is I guarantee that it's given to you if there's a defect in the one that's been supplied. Right, so that's, you have a lifetime warranty on it, but the installation is your responsibility. The main reason for that is that when the city 30, 40, 50 years ago was doing that, and should the meter have leaked and water was found in the basement, the resident then blamed the city for it. So what we determined was, A, it's on private property, it's your house. B, the resident owns the meter, we'll guarantee it for life, but we ask that you install it to the responsibility of the plumber that you've hired to install the meter. and adjustment.
Really, at one point, that meter should have been installed outside.
Outside.
It can't be installed outside.
No, it's weather It's not idle, it's water.
No, it's a water, geez.
Okay.
There exists where meters where you can meet at distances, but the purpose with the reason I guess, the main purpose of you going to take your reading on your meter on an annual basis is also to inspect it. That if people were not responsible for their meter or taking readings of their meters, they would never check them.
At this point, that meter where it is at the actual point, it's under my crawl space.
Yeah, me too. It's very hard to.
Very, very, very hard.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm not 20 years old to go underneath that. Can it be installed anywhere else in the house?
It's going to stay in the basement.
It's normally at the entrance. If you choose, it's got to be installed at the entrance before it starts splitting up into the rest of the house. So I would say that the answer would be no. Like you got grandchildren, you can always ask them to go over and take a picture, or somebody to take a picture of it. And
Any other questions? Okay.
Hi, Lindsay Francis, Preview Sauvignon, number 14. Just a quick follow-up question to what Mr. Feijão was bringing up regarding the climate emergency. Just a quick question, has the... Oh, sorry, I've not been here in a while, missed that. Was just a question of, has Kirkland actually declared a climate emergency for the city? I'm not aware whether I've seen that in our climate plan.
Climate emergency?
Yeah, it's a common tactic involved by cities doing that. The province of Quebec did it in 2019 at the National Assembly, just as a communication strategy in general to signify that it's being taken seriously, and often it can unlock funding, whether it be federally or provincially, to help implement initiatives.
That's really a broad question. Well, we've got a plan where it comes to any problems that comes with, let's say, remember the ice storm. That was one where our plan, a security plan, came into effect, where councillor, police, administration were all ready to cope. We had carts set aside. We still have those carts that were put in the gymnasium. So the people had to sleep there and all that. We've got a general plan when it comes to natural disaster. There's none concerning a climate situation. Could be flooding, but there's no flooding here. Could be a disaster from a truck that spilled oil and exploded on the 40. We're prepared for that. But not in the case of climate warming, and that's why we're preparing our own plan, like I was saying. That's in the making, and eventually we'll present it to our population. Shortly, I know Alexandre in our department is working on it.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Okay, and that's the only thing I can tell you at this present time.
Honestly, yeah, no, thank you for that. Honestly, it would be a suggestion for the climate plan to say that the city, I don't know if this is something that the Agglomeration Council would have to agree on as a whole. I'm not sure whether Montreal has taken the step to declare that, but it's just a formal legislative step almost, whether it would be here as a bylaw to say that the city of Kirkland acknowledges the severity of the climate crisis. And in fact, like I said, in many other municipalities across North America or across the globe, that can in fact unlock accessibility to federal or provincial funds, in the case of Canada, let's say, that could help advance the plan that you guys are going to be proposing. And I know you're well on the way towards adding things there and presenting something.
I'll give you another example. Look at COVID. COVID, we had a plan with the city of Montreal where our directors were in tune with what the public security was doing there. We had some funding coming from them, and we were advised on a regular basis. I would say your meeting were almost daily. So yes, there's a plan in place for disaster with that. And the same thing will happen if the government or the provincial government come up with their plan, with their objective on reducing les gaz à effet de serre, and ainsi de suite. Then we'll participate automatically because we're part of the island.
Okay, so if Quebec as a province had declared this in 2019, by extension, this means you are doing this in some way. Like, it's not a disaster relief situation, but again, not to drag this on, I'm happy to send more information after the fact if that would be helpful.
Yeah.
It's, we've had this question.
Microphone.
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 Would you like to put on the microphone? There you go. So, look, we've had this question asked over and over, and I just want to make sure that no one leaves here thinking that we're waiting for a plan before we take action.
No, I understand.
But I just want to make that absolutely clear. We've been working on environmental issues for years. We started with water, we've been changing over our fleet all to electric. We're finding different ways of upgrading our heating systems in our buildings to reduce the carbon footprint. But we've never finalized it as a plan. That's coming, as Mr. Mayor has been saying on different occasions, but we're already taking action, even before an actual statement of intention comes out in the form of a plan. So be assured that we're taking this seriously.
Yeah, no, I've seen that. I know that you had a 2016 to 2020 or 2021 plan, and that a new plan will be coming out. It was none of a comment on that. I know that the city is taking a lot of initiatives on this front. It was just about some additional legislative steps that can be taken to access things to further accelerate that. But like I said, thank you for your time on that and for taking the time to answer that. Like I said, if anyone's interested in more information, I'm happy to share specifically what that tactic means. But if not, I'll look for the 22 plan.
You can forward it to me, Lindsay, and I've taken note of your comment.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much for everyone's time.
Okay, Lindsay, thank you.
Hello again. Following the young lady's intervention on climate emergency, if my memory serves me correctly, most or some of the West Island municipalities have signed the climate emergency. It's a huge document in color. I was at the Montreal Metropolitan Community when they adopted it. And automatically, because Valerie Plante is mayor of Montreal, it became also Montreal emergency. I don't know, are you aware that you're probably...
I'm quite aware.
You could be the only municipality in the West Island that didn't sign the climate emergency. It's like a contract too.
Monsieur Pigeon, l'agglomération, on en fait partie, qu'on l'a signé. Merci.
Well, okay, if you see it that way.
Merci, Monsieur Pigeon.
Bob Cobbs, 168 Niagara. I just want to comment on the lines on the street.
Which area in particular?
Well, I'll give you an example.
Okay.
You're going along Niagara, you're turning. The people that were putting yellow signs, yellow lines up and all that, I asked them how come there's not a yellow line going around the circle. He says, the city has never told us to do that. Now you go other places down the street, there is lines. What I want to ask you is, how come there's no lines going around the circles like that?
Yeah, but tell us which area where there's no line and where we should have a line.
Don't you, Mr. Mayor?
Okay.
Hi, Bob.
Hi.
I know exactly where you're speaking. You're speaking at the end of Niagara.
There's quite a few of them.
There's a couple of people who brought that to the traffic committee. And as Mr. Dufour had mentioned, that they're going to do a whole study on the speed. And that is part of the end of the street. It is part of that study. So if it makes sense to put the yellow lines in, or to put a speed bump in, or to throw another stop sign in, whatever the committee will do, they will do a great study. I have total faith they're going to do the right timing on the study. They're not doing it right now to get it off. They're waiting for school to start. And as a matter of fact, there was police presence 2.5 weeks ago on the stop sign of Dragon and Niagara. So I know that we're doing everything we can. It's been brought to everyone's attention and it's being handled right now.
But what I'm saying is, how come certain sections that got the...
I don't know, I cannot answer why some sections don't.
Who's planning?
That's why Nancy just
No, just a
mentioned.
second, it's not just around our area, there's a lot of areas like that.
Yeah, but we're handling your area of
Yeah,
discretion.
just a second, Mr.
We'll
Mayor.
check elsewhere also, like I told you.
The
we'll check-
planning, when they drew the painting, the lines and all that,
Yeah,
how come this is not brought up? There's some areas, there's lines.
I cannot answer you, but we'll check it. Okay, Bob?
Okay, another thing that I find, the stop sign on Niagara that's turning,
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Just at the corner.
that's illegal. Because you're turning, you shouldn't have a stop sign there.
Yeah, but we know that one. It's the only one in Kirkwood.
But it is, if somebody gets a ticket, it's illegal. They could fight it.
Yeah, they could find it probably, but for now, you know.
No,
it's-
may I ask you why?
As a resident of Niagara, would you like it to go once?
No, just a second, what I wanna find out is,
Yeah.
if you got it there, can you put them somewhere else? You see?
That was a mistake, that one. That's the only thing I can tell you, Bob.
Oh, so you're admitting that it's a
Oh,
mistake?
it's a mistake. Personally, you don't put a stop sign in a curb. I
No.
mean, a break.
No, it's illegal.
So it's,
That was two of them, man.
yeah,
One there.
it was done. And we'll deal with it, either we'll.
No, don't get me wrong.
Oh, you like it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, but I'm just stating the point.
We're not gonna install any more of those.
No, that's for sure.
You have one there, we're not gonna install.
But, as a,
What would make more sense in that 90 degrees would be the flexible, the balise fixed in English, it's the ballast.
no, I'm not, look, I'm not telling you to remove it. I'm just saying,
That would
what
make
happens,
sense.
what happens if you get a ticket there? It's
Oh,
illegal.
No, it's illegal, yeah.
Nobody stops there after
Bob,
Yes,
we'll never get a ticket there.
Never.
The police will never go into.
It's illegal. It's
you know why?
illegal.
Because, just for an example, I was at the gas station and there was two constables there. And I went over to them and I asked them about it. I asked them about,
Yeah,
and they couldn't answer me. They couldn't answer me if it was legal or not legal. To me, it's illegal.
yeah. Well, I'm on your side.
No, and don't get me wrong, I don't want it moved, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying that if
Yeah, I understand.
one of you get a ticket,
Yeah.
No, I would take a ticket if they didn't know if it's legal or illegal.
Somebody gets,
I guess
okay,
they
we're
will
gonna
give
make
it-
a.
Another question, Bob?
no, that's it.
Bob, if I may,
Yeah.
if you do get a ticket, you have to go to court to fight it. And it's the
Oh,
judge,
I
who will-
understand that.
it's the judge who will decide whether it's legal or illegal.
That'll make the.
Okay, any more questions before we close the
Oh,
meeting?
one more, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, one more for the road.
Yeah, just one more. Would it be possible that you open the door like at 15 minutes before, instead of 5 minutes?
Tonight, our meeting was not finished.
You know, I mean,
But normally, we could, yeah.
what do you think about it?
Yeah, if our meeting is over, yeah.
Well, your meeting
No,
is
but
over here.
the caucus before the meeting, it was not over. It's an exception. We're sorry about it.
We don't meet in there anymore, we meet out here.
Yeah.
It's too tight in there for everybody to be in there for presentations. So we meet out here, so if we're done at 1:45, we open the doors. If we're
Yeah.
done at 5:02,
We'll
we'll open
open
at
the door.
5:02.
So what happens this winter and this fall when it gets cold?
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
Well,
We'll have
it
our
would be
meeting.
nice that you open the doors at 1:45.
And I do agree 100%.
100%.
One more?
Good idea. Very quick, it's a suggestion for the people who don't hear the best. Kindly, all of you at the council tables, get close to your mic to speak. I'm aiming at you, Luciano. You're tall, you're way above the mic. You gotta be like, up this distance so it works well.
Thank you.
We'd like to hear what you say. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, our next public meeting will be Tuesday, September the 6th at 8 p.m. Notre prochaine assemblée publique va avoir lieu mardi 6 septembre à 20h Donc, je demanderai quelqu'un pour ajourner notre assemblée.
For Ken, I will propose the adjournment.
Qui secondé par?
I'll second that vote before.
Merci.